The Thistle Quilt Guild produced its annual show and tea on June the 15th at the Westville Civic Auditorium. As patrons entered the auditorium, they saw quilts made in previous years decorating the railings and the entranceway to the building. The Guild rule is that quilts entered in the show must not have been displayed at one of our shows of previous years. We had 8 pretty door prizes to be given away during the show. Mary Wadden is showing one pretending to be Holly Hobby. Next is a sweet little bear who will make someone happy. Guild members made a beautiful quilt to be raffled. Carol Francis and Linda Crosby are selling tickets on it for $1 each. The draw was held on June the 19th. Becky Daly was the lucky winner, and she was a very happy lucky winner. As you walk along the corridors, made from racks of quilts, you see the color in pinwheels, swirls, blocks, stripes. There are quilts for those who love a cacophony of color and those who like the subtler tones. There are quilts to appeal to the girly girls, the tough guy, children, tiny babies, and everyone in between. Quilts aren't just for beds. We hang them on walls too. Some have intricate pictures and tell stories. The Tea Room Challenge provided lovely quilted pieces to decorate the room where visitors were served tea and sweets, while taking a few minutes to rest and visit during their tour of the quilts. We sold previously read quilting magazines for 50 cents, and you could rest and watch a slideshow of our year's work. Some pieces were sent away for gifts before the show, so you had to appreciate them in virtual space instead of reality. A major project for the year was our Country Sampler by Rabbit Factory. This was organized by Joan Waters. Members who participated were to make 2 blocks each month. Gloria Turnbull showed us how to construct a quilt using the quilt-as-you-go method and suggested that this would be a good project to practice on. Quite a few people used that method for quilting it. The participants took a lot of artistic license with the details, and that is exactly what we wanted to happen. It is an explosion of color. From the stage, you see the whole room spread out before you. It is an impressive sight. We go back to the room entrance again and walk across to the other end of the building. Beautiful bright colors treat our eyes. We even see reversible quilts. That is quite a feat. Each patron was given a ballot for the viewer's favorite quilt. This was to be what each patron liked the best. The winner was Norma McCara for her quilt called Out of Africa, a beautiful art quilt she made for her sister. It was inspired by a painting by Norma's niece, and it is truly spectacular. Many of the quilts are amazing. We have hand quilted and machine quilted pieces. Some are quilted on regular sewing machines and some on the fancy long arm quilting machines. The quilt with the white background and decorated with blue mariner's compasses was made for a fundraiser for the museum in Upper Stewiacke. A number of prized possessions decorate the room as props. As you walk around admiring the quilts, you also see antique sewing machines, doll carriages, rockers. Flower arrangements are strategically placed to accent the colors of the quilts. Several quilts in progress are shown in quilt frames. We have a plastic, snapped-together Q frame that is easy to move around, and the quilt position can be changed quite easily. Guild members made lots of pretty handbags, table toppers, wall hangings, and numerous Christmas decorations. We even have a Christmas tree skirt among our repertoire. Santa, Frosty, Christmas trees are popular themes. The 3D Christmas trees were thanks to a workshop by Wilma Jenkins, and Maddie took care of the instructions for the Christmas tree table topper or the Christmas tree skirt. As we move along, we see a French braid quilt cuddled up to little houses, a runner done in Seminole piecing, holly hobby, and sunflower. Quilted postcards have become a popular way for members of various guilds to share their artistic talents. We have a number on display, and believe it or not, they really do get put through the mail. Bargello is a popular pattern with quilters. It makes waves of color. Considering a picture is worth 1,000 words, we have an essay for you. There is a display of jackets made from sweatshirts sporting the Bargello pattern. Marlene Tedford led this workshop. There are so many beautiful pieces in the show. Some of them take a long time to make, requiring a great deal of attention. Someone has little ladies sunning themselves at a beach, and another has an inspirational scene. Both small pieces with lovely detail. Walk along with us. You will find some pieces dedicated to fall themes and Halloween. There are quite a few repeat pictures from different angles and with a variety of lighting settings. How else would you see all these lovely pieces? Purses to hold your valuables and purses to take to the beach, designed to leave the sand behind, are prominently displayed. Their secret is screen bottoms. A lot of us want to learn how to make those. Sandy Gunning from the River Gallery in Glenwood, New Brunswick, presented a wool workshop at which many members made mug mats and small table runners. It was a very successful workshop. We learned more about wool than we ever thought there was to know about it. Beside the mats, we see blocks made by drawing on cotton and coloring it with wax crayons. The cotton is then ironed to fix the color to it. Then you can make the blocks into something special. Wilma Jenkins showed us that trick. We had a bag challenge. The idea was to pick a decorated gift bag and make something inspired by it. Most of us made bags. Some deviated from this idea and came up with a wall hanging or a pillowcase. The results were fantastic pieces. Moving along, no time to dally. We see the results of the watering can challenge. Need a little water? We even have a full jacket for gardening decorating the wall. One aisle starts and ends with an oval quilt rack sporting quilts to be finished. On either side, we see the fruits of our labors. Our member, Sheila Monroe, taught interested guild members how to do red work. She has been bringing in lovely pieces for show and tell. The envy of the other members got to be too much. She graciously set up a work session to pass on her skills, and boy did they take to it. At the other end of this laneway, we come to another quilt made by a guild member, with some family help, for a raffle to raise money for a team of cancer survivors. It is a Dresden plate pattern done in pinks and burgundies, and it is truly beautiful. Now we are getting back to the large quilts. Some are appliqued, some have flannelette backs. There's thread painting on a number of the quilts that adds a whole different dimension to them. Now, of course, there were people viewing the show. Most of the pictures were taken before the doors opened to the public, so that you don't see a lot of people in there, but we added a few at the end, just so that you know that it really was a successful show. We have a quilt made from t-shirts. That was another afternoon of instruction given by a guild member, Margaret Milne. We had 3 vendors who traveled quite a distance to be with us for the day. We hope they enjoyed themselves and had a profitable day. They were Myra Stitch and Post, Fiddle Stitches, and Rewraps. It is impossible to capture the variety, the detail, and the beauty of the pieces on display in pictures. Come next year and enjoy them in real 3D. And from the Guild, thank you to everyone who worked so hard to make this show a success. It is very much appreciated.